What if I told you there are mysteries so baffling that even our brightest scientists throw up their hands in defeat? Today, we're counting down 10 unsolved mysteries that have stumped researchers for decades. Or even centuries. These aren't just puzzles waiting to be solved, they're phenomena that challenge everything we think we know about reality itself. From ancient artifacts that shouldn't exist, to modern disappearances that defy explanation, prepare to have your mind blown. Let's dive in. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a discovery that made archaeologists question everything they knew about ancient technology. In 1901, divers exploring a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera found what looked like a corroded lump of metal. But when researchers examined it closer, they discovered something impossible: an ancient Greek computer from over 2,000 years ago. The Antikythera mechanism is a complex system of bronze gears that could predict eclipses, track planetary movements, and even forecast the Olympic Games. The level of precision required to build this device wouldn't be seen again until clockmakers in the 14th century. Here's what drives scientists crazy: we have no records of how it was made, who built it, or why only one has ever been found. It's like finding a smartphone in a medieval castle. The technology gap is so massive that some researchers have suggested, well, let's just say they've proposed some very unconventional theories about its origins. At number 9, we have a phenomenon that sounds like pure fiction but has been witnessed by thousands of people worldwide. Ball lightning appears as glowing, floating spheres that can pass through walls, hover in mid-air, and vanish without warning. Witnesses describe seeing these mysterious orbs during thunderstorms, often the size of a basketball, glowing with an otherworldly light. The problem? Scientists can't explain how it's possible. Regular lightning lasts milliseconds, but ball lightning can persist for minutes. It defies our understanding of physics. Plasma this stable shouldn't be able to exist in normal atmospheric conditions. Researchers have tried to recreate it in laboratories with limited success. Some theories involve silicon particles, others suggest electromagnetic fields, but none fully explain the phenomenon. What makes it even more frustrating for scientists is that ball lightning is unpredictable and impossible to study in real time. The fact that something so commonly reported remains completely unexplained drives physicists absolutely insane. Number 8 takes us to one of the most mysterious places on Earth, Death Valley, California. For decades, visitors to Death Valley's racetrack playa discovered something impossible. Massive boulders, some weighing hundreds of pounds, had somehow moved across the flat desert floor, leaving perfectly straight trails behind them. These weren't small pebbles, we're talking about rocks the size of refrigerators. The mystery baffled scientists for over 80 years. The stones moved in straight lines, some traveling over 1,500 feet. There was no evidence of human intervention, no tire tracks, no tool marks. Just massive rocks that had somehow decided to take a stroll across the desert. Theories ranged from underground seismic activity to magnetic fields, but nothing made sense. The desert is incredibly flat with minimal wind, and the rocks were far too heavy to be pushed by normal weather conditions. In 2014, researchers finally solved part of the puzzle using GPS tracking and time-lapse photography. But here's the thing, the solution was so bizarre and specific that it only happens under perfect conditions that occur maybe once every few years. Scientists are still trying to understand why it happens at all. At number 7, we encounter something that every doctor knows exists but absolutely no one can fully explain. The placebo effect is medicine's most uncomfortable truth. Give someone a sugar pill and tell them it's powerful medication, and approximately 30% of the time, they'll actually get better. Not just feel better, their bodies will produce measurable, biological improvements. Here's where it gets really weird: the effect works even when patients know they're taking a placebo. Brain scans show real changes in neural activity. Parkinson's patients given fake treatments show increased dopamine production. Cancer patients experience reduced symptoms. The placebo effect challenges everything we understand about the relationship between mind and body. If belief alone can trigger healing responses, what does that say about the nature of consciousness and its control over physical reality? Scientists have identified some mechanisms: endorphin release, immune system activation, but the core mystery remains. How can a thought, a belief, literally rewire biology? And why does it work for some people and not others? This isn't just frustrating for researchers, it's philosophically disturbing because it suggests our understanding of human consciousness is fundamentally incomplete. Number 6 brings us into deep space, where astronomers have detected signals that shouldn't exist. Fast radio bursts, or FRBs, are intense blasts of radio waves that last just milliseconds but release more energy than the sun produces in days. They come from billions of light-years away, and until recently, each one was a one-time event that disappeared forever. The first FRB was discovered in 2007, and since then, astronomers have detected hundreds more. What makes scientists lose sleep is that we have no idea what's causing them. The energy requirements are staggering. Whatever's producing these signals is unleashing forces that dwarf anything we can imagine. Some FRBs repeat in patterns, others are completely random. They come from all directions in space, suggesting they're not from any particular type of celestial object. The signals are so powerful and so brief that they challenge our understanding of astrophysics. Natural explanations include colliding neutron stars, magnetars, or black holes, but none fully account for the observed properties. And yes, some scientists have quietly wondered if these could be artificial in origin, though they're careful not to say that too loudly at conferences. At number 5, we dive into the mystery that strikes at the very core of what it means to be human. Consciousness, your ability to experience, to feel, to be aware that you exist, is something that science simply cannot explain. We can map every neuron in the brain, understand every chemical reaction, but we have absolutely no idea how electrical impulses become subjective experience. This is called the hard problem of consciousness, and it's been driving neuroscientists and philosophers crazy for decades. We can explain how the brain processes information, how it responds to stimuli, even how it makes decisions. But we cannot explain why any of this feels like anything at all. Why do you experience the color red instead of just processing wavelengths of light? Why does pain hurt rather than just triggering avoidance behaviors? How does a 3-pound lump of matter generate the rich, subjective world of thoughts and emotions? Some scientists argue consciousness is just an illusion, a byproduct of complex information processing. Others believe it's a fundamental property of the universe. The fact that we can't even agree on what consciousness is, let alone how it works, makes this one of the most humbling mysteries in all of science. Number 4 takes us back to 1977, when astronomer Jerry Ehrman detected something that still gives SETI researchers chills. While analyzing radio telescope data, Ehrman found a signal so unusual, so perfectly structured, that he circled it on the printout and wrote "wow" next to it. The signal lasted 72 seconds, came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, and had all the characteristics that scientists predicted an extraterrestrial transmission would have. The "wow" signal was incredibly strong, about 30 times more powerful than normal background radiation from space. It was transmitted on a frequency of 1420 MHz, which is significant because that's the frequency of hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. Any intelligent civilization would know this frequency would travel well through space. Here's what drives scientists crazy: despite decades of searching, the signal has never been detected again. They've pointed radio telescopes at the same region of space hundreds of times. Nothing. It was like receiving a phone call from another world that lasted just over a minute and then went silent forever. Natural explanations have been proposed: satellites, comets, even terrestrial interference, but none fully account for the signal's properties. After nearly 50 years, the "wow" signal remains our best candidate for potential extraterrestrial communication. At number 3, we confront the embarrassing truth that scientists have no idea what 95% of the universe is made of. When astronomers calculate the mass needed to hold galaxies together, the numbers don't add up. There's not enough visible matter, stars, planets, gas clouds, to account for the gravitational forces we observe. Something invisible is out there, something that makes up about 27% of the universe. Scientists call it dark matter. But wait, it gets worse. The universe is expanding, and that expansion is accelerating. This requires an unknown form of energy that makes up about 68% of everything that exists. Scientists call this dark energy. So let's recap. We live in a universe where 95% of everything is completely unknown to us. We can detect the effects of dark matter and dark energy, but we have no idea what they actually are. It's like trying to understand a movie when 95% of the screen is black. This isn't just a gap in knowledge, it's a fundamental crisis in physics. Our most advanced theories can only explain 5% of reality. Some scientists have suggested our understanding of gravity itself might be wrong, while others propose entire parallel dimensions of invisible particles. The fact that we're basically cosmic children stumbling around in the dark is what keeps physicists up at night. Number 2 is a question that haunts every astronomer and keeps getting more disturbing as our technology improves. In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi asked a simple question: where is everybody? Given the age of the universe, the number of stars, and the likelihood of habitable planets, our galaxy should be teeming with intelligent life. So why haven't we found any evidence of it? The numbers are staggering. There are over 100 billion stars in our galaxy alone, many with planetary systems. Even if intelligent life is incredibly rare, there should still be millions of civilizations out there. Some should be billions of years older than us, with technology so advanced it would seem like magic. So where are they? Why don't we see massive engineering projects? Why aren't there radio signals, space probes, or other signs of intelligence? The silence is deafening and deeply unsettling. Possible explanations range from the hopeful to the terrifying. Maybe intelligent life destroys itself before becoming detectable. Maybe there are cosmic disasters we don't know about. Maybe advanced civilizations deliberately hide from younger species. Or maybe we're actually alone in a universe so vast and empty that it defies comprehension. The Fermi paradox isn't just a scientific mystery, it's an existential crisis that challenges our place in the cosmos and our assumptions about life itself. And at number 1, the mystery that represents the ultimate failure of scientific explanation: how did life begin? We know evolution explains how life changes and develops, but it cannot explain how life started in the first place. The gap between non-living chemistry and living biology is so vast that scientists have no credible theory for how it was crossed. Life requires incredibly complex molecules, DNA, RNA, proteins, working together in perfect harmony. The probability of these molecules spontaneously forming and organizing themselves is so astronomically small that some mathematicians argue it's essentially impossible. Yet here we are. Every living thing on Earth, from bacteria to blue whales, shares the same basic genetic code. This suggests all life descended from a single ancestor, but how did that first living cell emerge from dead matter? Scientists have proposed various theories: thermal vents, lightning strikes, clay surfaces, even panspermia, the idea that life came from space, but none adequately explain the transition from chemistry to biology. The more we learn about the complexity of even the simplest cells, the more mysterious this transition becomes. This isn't just frustrating for biologists, it's philosophically profound. If we can't explain how life began, what does that say about our ability to understand our own existence? These 10 mysteries remind us that despite all our technological advances, we're still cosmic children trying to understand forces far beyond our current comprehension. Each unsolved puzzle reveals the limits of human knowledge and challenges our most basic assumptions about reality. What's most unsettling is that some of these mysteries might remain unsolved forever. Perhaps there are aspects of existence that lie permanently beyond human understanding, truths that our brains simply aren't equipped to grasp. Which of these mysteries do you find most mind-bending? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more content that will challenge everything you think you know about our strange and wonderful universe. Until next time, keep questioning everything, because the moment we stop being amazed by the unknown is the moment we stop being truly human.